If you're using kettlebells, you're going to get calluses, and if you get calluses, you need to take care of your hands. So let's talk about hand care. So generally, when it comes to calluses and kettlebells, you're going to get them here and here, and that's because the kettlebell handle should be sitting about here when you're doing things like swings and snatches. The problem is that sometimes the calluses grow really big, and then if you have a bad rep, it will just pull off a callus and it hurts and it can tear your hands up and it sucks. So let's figure out how not to do that. That's where this comes in. This is a pedicure kit callus shaver. Super sexy, I know. This is the one I have. It's got a fun little mini one, which I really love. And I just got this from my local like CVS or whatever. There's a bunch of different versions of this. None of them are right or wrong. Just find the ones that you like. And then all you're going to do is use this just like on your hands like this and shave the calluses down to the level that feels comfortable for you, and that will be different from person to person. And also when you're using things like the callus shaver, I personally prefer to do this like post shower when my hands are really soft, so that way the skin comes off a little bit easier than when it's dry. Mostly I just recommend not doing this like right before you lift, because you are literally like shaving layers of your skin off. And then if you try to lift right after that, your hands are going to be a lot more sensitive. And the other thing that can happen is that you can get a hand tear. And that means that the bell skips across your skin, pulls the skin so hard that it pulls a layer off and it hurts, and also can put you out of commission so you can't lift for days, possibly weeks. So that can go a couple of different ways. If it's a little tiny tear, generally you can just sort of like make sure it's all flat, lays flat, put like a Neosporin on it, put a little bit of tape on it, and you can be on your way. Just be a little bit nicer to it for a couple of days. And the other way it can go is if it's like a pretty bad tear where you have like a big chunk kind of off of your hand, I will just make sure that part like stays off and kind of dries out. And then I will use whatever like little scissors that are clean in my first aid kit, and I will trim off the extra flap as close to my skin as possible because it's all dead and doesn't hurt or anything. And then I'll use this to take the rest of it down to the skin, and usually that heals it up pretty quickly. To bridge that gap between like not quite healed but like good enough, you can always add tape to your hands so you can protect them. But also if you're far enough out from a competition, you should probably just give your hands a rest and work on other things for a few days while your hand heals up. But that's not always possible, so listen to your body, make judgment calls based on where you're at in your training cycle, and listen to your coach. So this was my super speedy tutorial on hand care. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and save, and I'll see you next time.